So this is it. This is how you build your golf swing in 10 easy steps. So first of all, we need to get the rotation right. Rotation is absolutely key. Everything is built around that. Obviously make sure you've watched your grip and the setup videos, so they're in place. Now we're going to work on the rotation. So first step, feet shoulder width apart, stand nice and upright. You can have your arms either relaxed by your sides or up across your shoulders, doesn't really matter. And just turn your chest 90 degrees. Okay, face the wall or whatever it is to the side of you. Now when you do that, try and make sure your hips and knees are relaxed and they move with you. So the idea here is it's a natural movement. You're not trying to resist your turn with a knee flex or whatever, you know, you're just looking to let everything move with it. So your right leg, if it's not already straight, your right knee will now straighten up. As the right hip turns across the back, and your left hip and left knee work across the front. Now the point here is you want to stay completely centered. You want to keep your hips completely in line with where they started. You'll find it will narrow up. Usually your hips are wider than they are deep, so as you turn they will get narrower. So you'll find that if you was to mark yourself off in the mirror or something, or you put a couple of chairs either side, you should move off of both lines in equal measure. You just stay completely on the spot, weight's completely centered. Okay, that's step one. Step two, the one arm drill. Now this is basically because we need to face the golf ball. You can't hit a golf ball up here. So we face the ball, we get into a set up position, and we pull the right arm behind the head. Okay, you're looking to create a vertical line through both arms, through your shoulders. Get the right hip to turn around the back again and the left knee to work across, just like we did a moment ago. So it feels exactly the same. Stay completely centered. Now you're watching the golf ball, you're not letting your head turn with your shoulders like you were before. Now you're watching the ball. But you're feeling the same movement through your legs and body, so it's completely natural, it's just following your torso turn. Okay, you'll feel some twisting with your feet inside your shoes and all the rest of it, which is all perfectly natural, you are turning. Okay. Really note how the left shoulder works down as the right shoulder works up behind you. Okay, so step three. Exactly the same feeling but with two arms now. We just go halfway with both arms to here. The same feeling of this working across, left knee working, left hip working across. Weight is centered, we go halfway. Now I like to refer to this one as zombie arms because the arms are completely relaxed. They're being transported around by your shoulder turn. Yeah, they're not active, they're not pulling you around. If you find yourself doing this, then you know you're trying to turn by using your arms, by almost pulling yourself around with your arms, which I see a lot. So just make sure your arms are relaxed, they stay in front of your chest, and you turn. If you feel like you come out of position, I'm going to go back. You know, go back to step one or step two. You know, get that feeling of rotation again, and then go back to step three and try again. Okay, step four. We introduced a golf club. This is exactly the same feeling, nothing has changed. You're just holding a golf club now. So it should look something like this. Club's about horizontal. So there's no arm or wrist movement at all. You're just doing the exact same turn as if you weren't holding a club. This is basically the same as the basket drill. If you've ever done that before, hold a range basket and turn. The idea is to pair your arms up with your body turn. Your arms don't go working off around the side. It's the same thing. So, as you say, step four with the club. Very easy, very simple. Okay, step five, halfway there. We introduce a little bit of wrist hinge and elbow bend. So we do the same thing, step four, and then we introduce that hinge. Now the angle that we hinge on is the same that you're already turning on, pretty much. It will go a little bit up on its own, but you're not going to try and enforce that. So what you're looking to do is get this rotation to here, and then just add that hinge up to where you want the swing to be. Now you're looking at wrist hinged at 90 degrees, this elbow is about 120, 130, something like that, and that's as far as it needs to go. Now when you're swinging at full speed, the momentum of the swing will carry you around further, or if you're a little bit more on the stiff side, you might find you need to push a bit more to get a full swing, but for the moment, just keep it simple, go to there. Now obviously we don't want to swing like that, it's too broken up, so we blend the wrist hinge in, and as soon as their hands pass your right thigh, your right leg, that's when you start to gradually apply wrist hinge and right elbow fold, whilst keeping the left arm straight all the time. And that is your backswing. So again, if you feel like you come out of position or something's not right, go back through the drills. You know, turn and face the wall, one arm drill, two arm drill, Introduce the golf club, and then just add a little bit of wrist hinge. Okay, and that is your backswing complete. Step 6, follow through. We've got to get back to the ball and through the other side. So we go back to setup and we turn through and face the target. Now what's important here is the right knee turns across, the right heel turns over, so your foot is vertical into the ground, your chest is facing the target, and your right hand is just slightly over your left hand. In terms of your shoulder tilt, it can be fairly level, it can be right shoulder down, there's positives to both. At the moment, don't worry too much about that, just go through to what's a comfortable position. Step 7, we're getting there. We link them up. Really simple, we've got our backswing position. Again, if you've forgotten what it is, go back through the drills. Stand up and turn and face the wall. Then do the 1-arm drill, 2-arm drill, introduce the club again, wrist hinge. Okay, we're here. Now the follow through was quite easy. Let's just go straight through to that. Boom. So we've got a backswing and a follow through. Backswing, follow through. Step 8, really simple. We lengthen it out. So we have these 6 full movements, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to go all the way through. Now the reason why we stop there to begin with is because when you throw a ball, you know, just for a moment the arm will get fully extended before it bends again. Well, this is that moment. That's when you're fully extended before you refold, because it's all too easy to bend the arms and not turn. If your arms fold, then you don't need to rotate, and we need to rotate. We need to get that speed, and we need that consistency and that wide arc, and you need to rotate to do that. So that's why we stop there for a while, practice that, and then we extend all the way through. So as I say, step 8, all the way up to the top. A bit longer if you feel you need to. I tend to swing a bit longer when I hit the golf ball. So for me, stopping shorter on my practice is a good thing. It allows for that momentum to carry me through a little bit further. I find most people are the same, but not everyone, especially if you're low on flexibility. You might need to feel you get as much of a stretch as you possibly can. But you know, each to their own. Figure out which you need to do. Film yourself, use mirrors, figure it out. But yeah, backswing, turn through, extend all the way. So step 9. Now, really simply, we link it up. You know, it's all very well swinging back and stopping and making sure we're perfect. But now, after you've done a bit of work, you've practiced it, we've got to link everything up together. So we swing back and we go straight through. No stopping. That's our golf swing. We now have a fully functioning golf swing in just 9 steps. Most people need to do this, but it is an optional step. You need to see where you are with your swing and see if you need to do it. Now what it is it's swing plane. Now most people, just because you're going to accelerate your golf swing, you're going to turn through faster than you turn back. And what that will tend to do is make you cut across the ball. That's why the vast majority of beginners slice everything, because they're trying to bring the club back and down on the same plane. Now if you turn at the same speed, that's fine. That's not going to happen. You're going to want to hit that golf ball. So then you turn faster, boom, and you cut across it. So you have to move the arms in such a way to compensate for that, to allow for that to happen. And that movement basically is something that we do in other sports all the time. Baseball, forehand in tennis, you know, throwing a ball, skimming a stone. This shallowing of the angle, this movement here. Now it's not just one thing, it's not just the wrist or just the elbow, it's everything together, the whole lot goes together. So you're going to get to the top of your golf swing, and when you film yourself or look in the mirror and you find that you're naturally coming a little bit more over the top, just feel that there's a little bit of rotation here in the left arm and the right elbow and the wrists, everything together, just to try and get the club back down underneath the plane or on plane and then through, depending on what kind of shot shape you'd like. So you can do this more if you would like a draw, if you want to, a lot of people do, if you fancy a draw, you could go a little bit more, get a bit more under plane. So that's the step 10, which is optional. Get to the top of the swing, feel this rotational movement here, and then turn it through. So that's it. That is a golf swing in 10 steps. Now there's a lot more detail to that I could be adding to that, so I'm going to make another video which goes a lot further into, a lot more in depth. But for the moment, to get you started, they are 10 minutes, 10 steps. Go away and practice it. Keep going back to the earlier steps if you need to, just to try and make sure that you're getting everything right. It's really important that you get everything right. There's only 10 steps to it, so why rush it? You know, make sure everything's spot on before you move on to the next one, and don't be afraid to go backwards.